Welcome back to the channel, everyone. It's OGrimtutor. You know what time it is. It's game time. We're playing Madden. This is going to be a long video. We just won the Super Bowl. There will not be any gameplay in this game or in this video. But it's very important. If you want to learn how to build a dynasty, follow my suggestions. Watch what we do. Watch where we put our money and our resources. That way you have a better chance of dominating the same way we do. So let's get right into it. We just won the Super Bowl. No need to look at the recap. We showed you what happened. Are they going to steal our coordinators away? It looks like they're not. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Into team salaries. Looking where we need to go. We got Kenny Pickett backing us up for one more year. Does he make a squad next year? He'll probably make a squad, but I don't think he'll ever start. We just didn't develop him because we moved right on to Scott Coyle. He never hit star in that rookie year. You know what we got. Scott Coyle. Red zone deadeye, quick draw, anchored extender, gutsy scrambler, and protected. He's protected extra when he needs to run and throw the ball. He's got that gutsy scrambler. No defensive back is going to sack us. Little quick draw. Got perfect accuracy. Well, not perfect, but you know what I mean. We're letting this dude walk. We got Josh Jacobs for one last year. We'll be looking to trade him for at least a first-round draft pick at the end of this year, this coming year. We just signed Nyheim Hines in last year's free agency. Looks like Cordero Patterson must have just retired. We'll keep this Kevin McKenzie for the practice squad. Pull him up if we need to in case Josh Jacobs gets hurt for a week or two. But we obviously do not want McKenzie hitting the field for multiple weeks. That said, because Cordero Patterson did retire, there is a guy that we're looking at. We've had our eye on him. We're about to show you a player that I think we're about to go trade for right now. He'll be our third string back and our kick returner. Kyle Black for the Jaguars. Superstar receiving back. 92 speed, 90 acceleration, 94 agility. Pretty darn kick return. So if we get him up to 75 elusive back, we can throw this return man on him no problem. We're going to go see what the Jaguars want for that halfback right now. This might end up being a two-part video. Madden will only let you have a 60-minute video. So we got to keep our eye on the time clock. What do you want for Mr. Black? Taylor Rapp and Denzel Mims? I mean, sure. What kind of cap penalty do they carry? Do we even care? We'll give them to them. We will take that deal. Welcome to our team. Welcome to the team. Hopefully that wasn't a major cap penalty. I don't think it will be. 1.7, but we cleared some cap. I think 1.7 will be just fine. We still got 117 in cap space. No fullbacks on our team. Garrett Wilson for 2 more years. We're not going to waste time on trying to get him into deep threat. We'll just put points into playmaker, and here's the logic behind that. Sometimes, yes, you want them to hit scheme fit because then they will get more points accumulated. But if they're not a part of your long-term goals, like being on your squad for multiple years, you're thinking about dumping them. You want their overall to be as high as possible so their trade value is higher. So that's why we're just going to keep dumping playmaker into Garrett Wilson. And then if he happens to hit X Factor, his trade value will be through the roof. We'll get 2 first-round draft picks for him, most likely. So as of right now, we got Energizer and wide receiver apprentice on Garrett Wilson. Got Russell Gage for 1 final year. Same concept. We'll just put that point into slot. Cam Sims hitting free agency. So's Cornell Powell. So's Stoner. So we're going to need to go out and get 2 more wide receivers. Why only 2? Because we're working Kyle Pitts out of the slot. So we don't need to carry 5. We will not need to carry 5 wide receivers. 66 overall. This dude might actually hit the field. He's squad eligible. That's what I mean. If we only go out and get 2, if Teddy Claxton has to hit the field for a couple of weeks, we're okay with that. $67 overall, Brett Sims. You know what? We're only going to go out and get 1 wide receiver. Brett Sims is going to hit perfectly. Look at that speed and that acceleration. Brett Sims, you're on our team for 2 years. We're going to keep Brett Sims for 2 years. On a cheap deal, decent intangibles. We'll just go get 1 wide receiver. Austin Jackson will keep around for the squad. As well as Broderick Harden. So 1 wide receiver is all we need in free agency or the draft. Of course, Kyle Pitts, still a huge part of our offense. Next year, we'll probably slide him into fullback until we sign him. It's kind of a cheat, but sometimes they won't accept it, right? Sometimes you slide them into a different position and they won't sign. So if he signs that fullback at a cheaper deal, that's what we're going to do. You got to save money every way that you can, right? It's not like we're forcing him into punter and franchise tagging him. We're not going overboard. We're going to have Taysom Hill for 1 more year at fullback. Old man Taysom Hill. But I am taking that star development off of him. No need to have that star development on him. Tristan Wirfs, Aquanu. We can save 941 right now. Or keep him till the end of the year, which is what we'll probably do, and then decide from there. We might be getting rid of Aquanu and going cheaper. Someone on a rookie deal. Nate Knoll developing like we thought he would. Great young center. Veer Tucker, we already locked up. So it looks like we'll just need one offensive lineman in free agency. One wide receiver, one offensive lineman. Chase Young's locked up. Will he hit X Factor? Nobody knows. This dude's a scheme fit and squad eligible. We'll keep him just so we don't have someone else hit the squad that's not a scheme fit. But there's no way we need him hitting the field. We already landed Barnett. He'll fill that Ndamukong Suh role. Deron Payne. Looks like 91 overall. Still has not hit superstar, but it does not matter. He's still wrecking fools along with Quinnen Williams. Quinnen Williams, we already did lock up. It's unfortunate because Deron Payne is actually doing better in development. But we might be getting rid of him. We're just not going to get rid of him right now because we don't want to hit that cap penalty. We'll have to figure out what we're going to do as far as moving up to possibly draft this top 5 defensive tackle. Is it a Kwanu? That's not going to be in this video. So we don't have to decide right now. That's going to take way too much time to decide and seeing what the best trade values are. We don't have that kind of time because Madden will not let us spend that kind of time. We got Quay. We got Roquan. Quay has still not hit superstar. Oh my God. Oh my God. Aiden Hutchinson hit X Factor. I mean, we'll take Fearmonger. We'll keep him at Fearmonger. We already had Adrenaline Rush and Reach Elite on him because he's 6'7". I mean, we're missing out on that swim move and that bull rush and that strip ball. But he's still going to be forcing turnovers. You saw that in gameplay this year. So 6'7", Fearmonger with Reach Elite. So the quarterback's going to be throwing the ball away anytime it gets close because he's going to get scared, right? And if he doesn't throw it away, Aiden will be able to reach out of blocks and make the tackler sack. And if he gets that sack, He gets the adrenaline rush to boost up his points coming forward. I like that build. I like that build. I'm so excited. X Factor for Aiden Hutchinson. So it looks like we just need one linebacker, probably in the middle, but someone that can go to the right or left, right? So maybe not a scheme fit run stopper, maybe a speed rusher or a power rusher that has decent coverage skills in the middle. So drafting the D tackle, free agent linebacker. And we'll probably rock real thin, trying to save as much money as we can. Because we could get a defensive end and a defensive tackle. But as long as we draft that D tackle, Deron Payne can slide to either defensive end, right? He might even start in certain situations over Derek Barnett. So we don't need two defensive linemen. That's how we're thinking. At corner, Eric Stokes, Derek Stingley, Trey Flowers we're not going to sign. $77 overall. We'll let him hit free agency and we'll decide from there. What's that hairdo? What's that hairdo? Do we even need a corner? I mean, we do need a dime back, right? And we just traded a safety in Taylor Rapp. So we're going to need a corner and a safety for the big nickel. Because I don't think any of these guys can hit the field. 63 overall? Nah. Nope. You're not good enough. Not good enough. Squad eligible, you can stay. But you're not hitting the field. Not good enough. Not to be on the field as a dime back. I mean, pulling up from the practice squad for a couple of weeks, fine. But not good enough to hit the field on a regular basis, right? Not on our team. Not on Super Bowl team. This guy's not a scheme fit. He's gone. Is a scheme fit, but not good enough to hit the field. So he's gone. So one cornerback, one middle linebacker, drafting possibly the D tackle. We need a safety. We're going to wait to put the points into Bryce Stewart. We kind of need him hitting the points now, right? We need him at 85 overall. He's not going to get there right yet. But one more point at the beginning of the year, and he'll have another ability unlocked. And then we'll start deciding what kind of a build. Kyle Hamilton finally hit Superstar. Very much appreciated. We're going to give him Tackle Supreme for sure. If he hits X Factor, we'll probably do something like Selfless. So let's give him Deflator. Tackle Supreme and Deflator. For now, probably end up giving him Lumberjack. But I like that for right now. One cornerback, one safety, one linebacker. One wide receiver, one offensive lineman. One kicker, one punter. We'll get the kicker and punter, as always, at the beginning of next year, unless there's an amazing free agent, which normally does not happen. Dumping the rest of the people. Moving on to free agency. Not going to make a decision on Aquanu as of right now in this video. So let's see who's out there in free agency. The number one player is Tyron Smith. Cortland Sutton is a superstar receiver, but we don't need to be spending $17.5 million when we got Garrett Wilson and Kyle Pitts, right? We're just looking for a receiver. We still got Russell Gage. We're not looking for any sort of expensive receiver. Elton Jenkins is also too expensive. We're just looking for a swing offensive lineman. Von Miller, hanging on by a thread. It's time to retire, brother. Greg Newsome at 12.8. All these guys. I was about to say all these guys are just like too expensive and not really what we're thinking about. But here's JOK. Here is JOK. Says he has no interest He's only got 3 teams interested, but he would be perfect to swing across all 3 spots. He might even start over Quay Walker. Interesting. Do we try and sign him? So what's that? 14 million, 28. He wants a 4-year deal. It's being greedy. But he would be like a Swiss Army knife for our team. If we lock him up at 14 a year, trying to think who's needing to sign soon. Aquano if we keep him. Both those other 2 offensive linemen. That free safety. Trayvon Walker. I can't be greedy. He doesn't even want to sign. I can't be greedy. It would be a great pickup, though. So 1 wide receiver. Little Scotty Miller. What's his kick return? If his kick return was on point, this would be the play. There's a lot of speedsters here. George Pickens can catch the ball straight up. '87 catching traffic, 87 catching. We're signing George Pickens. George Pickens is the guy. We only need 1 swing lineman, and that's the offense. Not going to be a tackle. Does that say 3.1 for 1? I mean, Tyler Smith is pretty darn good. It might be Tyler Smith. Hopefully it's Tyler Smith. We'll overpay. Because he actually would do some things if a lineman goes down, right? Blowing the Eagles out of the water. Hopefully he signs and we can just be done with it. Dalvin Tomlinson, just in case we don't get that rookie, he's got no offers. We're signing Dalvin, just in case. We can't be too conservative. Not when we're chasing multiple Super Bowls. What's Anthony Walker look like? He can't cover, but he can come in and do some things. And that's all we really need, right? Anthony Walker. It's the safe play. JOK is the way to go, but I don't want to get in a bidding war. I really would love to have him, but we're not going to do it. One corner, one safety, that's our team. You're our dime back, Tyson Campbell. Is Malik Hooker really that cheap? I'd rather have Jaquan Brisker, though. We'll come back and look at Jaquan Brisker. Hopefully Tress Way does not get signed, nor Daniel Carlson. We might actually offer those two. But we're not going to. Anyways, we're coming back for Jaquan Brisker, and that'll be free agency. That will be free agency. Straight to targeted. Dalvin Tomlinson. We still got a better deal for him. He's probably going to take that Bengals deal just because he wants to start, though. Which is why he hasn't signed with us. Other than that, it looks like we got everybody. One corner, one wide receiver, one linebacker, one lineman. So we just need Dalvin Tomlinson to sign, which isn't a concern. And Jaquan Brisker. Someone's finally going after him. We want him more, though. That big hitter, because he's going to hit the field. We'll overpay just to have that extra big hitter on the field. Replacing Taylor Rapp, right? In the big nickel. It's better than like old man Landon Collins. Jaquan Brisker in next year's version of this game is going to be a star or a superstar, right? Do we pull the trigger on Daniel Carlson? He's only 30 with 94 kick power and 93 accuracy. It's expensive, but we have been complaining about our kicker. And if we don't sign him now, I don't think he'll be available at the beginning of next year. Let's wait another week. As soon as we start showing interest in these guys, the computer's going to drop interest and make us bid for them with more points, right? We probably will not go after Tress Way, though, because Logan Cook is perfectly fine. Let's get Dalvin Tomlinson and Brisker. Think about Daniel Carlson. College Pro Day results. We're only really looking at that D tackle. Says right here, he is not an X factor. Which is quite alright because we have to carry Deron Payne for another year. I was really excited to possibly replace Deron Payne if this dude was going to be an X factor. But it does not look like that's going to be the case. So we might just be dropping out of this draft class, which is perfectly fine because that will help us get an even higher pick, and then we don't have to overpay to get a player that we don't necessarily need. We were just really excited to see D tackle in the top 5 spot. We're probably backing out of this draft class. Most likely dropping out. Coming up on 5 minutes left of the video. Checking that clock. So Dalvin either signed with the Bengals or with us. We got Jaquan. We got Dalvin. We got everybody we wanted. Daniel Carlson still has not signed. We're going to hold off. If he's available, it'll be a lot cheaper at the beginning of next year on a 1-year deal. And you know, we like to be cheap. We like to get great players at the best possible value. And 4.25 over the next 2 years could be the difference between signing someone that we really need as opposed to someone kicking extra points. Not that we don't ever come down to a field goal in game play for the win. So it is important to have. But you know where I'm coming from. Mock draft 5 just to see where players are landing. 2 QBs coming off the board. The Patriots might be getting themselves the quarterback of the future. Even if that defensive tackle did look to be an X factor, we'd have to make something work to move up from 26. So it's going to work out in our favor that he's not an elite player, right? Can't get an X factor every year. We're about to save. That'll be the cleanup. That'll be the team moving forward. Minus a kicker and a punter. And because we got Dalvin Tomlinson, we don't really even need to look anywhere else. So I'm glad we focused on him. Clip is saved. Clip is saved. I know I'm not going to get a whole lot of likes on videos like these. Not a whole lot of joking going on. No gameplay, no shenanigans. But I feel like for those of you out there that are using this additionally upon the entertainment value, but are also trying to learn, using this as an instructional video, that this is important. I struggle on old Madden to get one Super Bowl, let alone 3 in a row, 6 or 7 or 8 or 9 or 10. We're going to simulate next year's playoffs, but if it simulates to the Super Bowl, we're going to play in that Super Bowl and probably get 4 in a row. I am that good at this game. You saw a couple of losses last year. We do lose. But when I lock in and focus, I was thinking about getting some panani, you know what I mean? If you remember, I was talking about, I'm going out on this date with this girl. There was a fly that wouldn't leave me alone. I've got a lot of things I've been thinking about as far as going on vacation. I straight up dominate at this game. I've been playing it for a long time. I'm really good. Ask my nephews. They're like, how come an old dude beats us all the time? Because I know what I'm doing. I know how to follow blocks. I don't run backwards 10 yards to throw the ball. I stand in the pocket. Lock in on a receiver. Drop it in the basket. I read defenses. I think like a computer. Subscribe, like, drop a comment, tell your friends about it. We're coming back. Probably not to draft anybody. The next video might be getting right into season 4, but it's not going to come till after I get back from vacation. Gonna have an amazing time. Anyways, love y'all.